Andy soon established himself as one of the toughest kids in the neighbourhood, but he also quickly formed a very strong bond with his younger brother Nigel.
Tell me what Andy was like.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of. A lion with her cubs walking around, and I was just with my brother. I felt protected.
He was the lion?
Yeah, I was just protected. That's the only way I can describe it.
Was he a hard guy?
Yeah, but he wasn't a bully. But he just didn't take no crap. And I just felt like, wow, I just felt like, you know, yeah, I'm with my brother. I just felt like secured.
So were you closest in age to Andy?
No, I was the second youngest.
So how come you were the guy that connected up with him so much?
I don't know, maybe I just had this kind of spirit in me, I don't know. We were just gotten close with him. And I used to sleep with him, and he used to just cuddle me and look after me.
So he was like your hero?
Yeah.
And when you say you had a spirit, what do you mean?
His kind of spirit, I just loved what he wanted, what he was, I wanted to be. Long time since I've been down here, but this was the place to be, Ilford. Loved being here.
Nigel grew up in the streets of Ilford, part of a close family and a strong community.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, mate. How you doing? Yeah, how are you? How you doing, bud?
Hi, mate, you?
Yeah, good. How you all doing?
Good to see you.
It's all just changed. Everything's changed.
The ex-world champion has achieved a lot since he first walked these streets, and he's now something of a local hero.
Yeah, good, man. Massive, yeah.
And you,
But what was he like when he was younger? He believes he was generally happy, but doesn't have a strong recollection of his early years. To jog his memory, he revisits his first school and meets again one of his first teachers.
Wow.
Long time no see. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, good. What was I like? That's what they really want to know. How was I? What kind of person? And you have to be honest. You have to be honest, because I can't really remember. Was I full of energy, full of beans?
You were indeed.
Just let it all out. Just say he's a little rascal, yes, just let it all out. So you were the only one that was that left?
Of course.
Yeah, see,
we're talking about 1970, Nigel.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I remember these used to come out, didn't they? Did they come out?
Yes, they still do.
They roll out. You pull these up, and these all come out. I remember these. We used to do plays on here. I remember
on the stage.
Yeah, on the stage.
Yeah, everything was done on the stage.
I remember where I had the dress.
Yes?
In a wig, in a dress, and I had them balloon boobs and all that. Well, I remember
really?
that so clearly, yes, as a kid.
Then when Nigel was just 8 years old, something happened that completely changed his life.
My brother died, Andy.
And he died in an accident?
At somebody's house, we don't know if he jumped out the window or if he was pushed. He cut his groin and he bled to death. And that was really hard. And I didn't understand what was going on. And where was my brother? And I didn't understand. Someone took someone away from me who I loved, and I think I was just hurting because I didn't see him no more. And I remember the last things that he wore when I saw him.
From what you know, did you grieve? Did you talk together about it?
No, we never. No one talked about it. Even now.
Still.
Yeah, we don't harp on, we don't stand that thing, because I think my mum and my dad feel that they brought him all the way from Barbados, brought him here, and he died.
They feel guilty?
I think so. And I think when my brother passed away, I don't know, I think I changed. And I think I actually carried a lot of anger around me.
So you remember that from 8 on?
Yeah.
As a teenager, you remember it. How angry were you? How angry could you be?
Could be very angry. I think I was scared of death as well. I remember that in my house when I used to sleep. I just didn't like to shut my eyes. I remember that.
As a little kid lying in bed after Andy's death?
Yeah. I remember that. I used to, didn't like going to sleep, didn't like to shut my eyes, and I would think about death all the time for a very long time.
Did you tell anybody?
Nah, not when I talk. Didn't tell nobody. You're actually the first person I'm actually telling now.
So, as a child, would it have been okay to have told your parents, or your family didn't work that way?
As much as we were close, we never kind of talk about certain things.
Like emotions?
We never talked about it. Even though we were close, we loved everyone, but we never really talked about things like that. Right. I just kept it to myself.
After Andy's death, Nigel became increasingly uninterested and disruptive at school.
Was that a handful? Yeah, I think I was a handful, but I just messed about a lot. I was in remedial classes and everything. Not that I couldn't do it, because I was just mucking around.
Nigel put little energy into his academic work, but poured it into his strongest after-school activity, fighting with other boys. Here at one of the local parks, he's arranged to meet one of his first adversaries, Danny Mardell. And they soon start to relive their first fight.
Yeah, good, mate.
Nice suit.
Yeah, good, yeah.
I'll tell you exactly where it was.
Right.
It was over there.
Right.
And I didn't know you guys, when you come home, we were playing, and you had all this. You could play cricket where you like, right? But you had to play where we're playing.
Yeah.
So you've come over and said, we want your cricket pitch.
Yeah.
And I've told you to go and take a run and jump.
Right.
But it was probably a little bit more coarse than that.
Yeah.
And then you've come over on your bike, and this is what I remember, and you're hitting me before you've even got off the bike, and gave me a bit of a kicking. I thought, whoa.
I was always fighting from a young age.
So fighting was always part of you, is that what you're saying? You were...
Yeah, I was fighting in school, I was fighting everywhere.
And you could handle yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you were never frightened?
No.
Fear's not something you know much about?
No, I have no fear at all for nothing. Right. No fear at all. No fear.
Then obviously we had a few occasions at school.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a fight, and you went down, and then I went off, and I went in the science lab, and then you come running in the science lab.
That's right.
And you come running at me, I hit you with a stool, crack, and none of the rules, then kicked you in the head a few times, and I thought, well, that'd do, and then that was it for a week.
Yeah.
You didn't come back to school for a week.
Yeah.
And you come back, and you stayed out of my way, didn't you, for about a few hours, until we was in that break area where there was nothing I could pick up. And then you said, we'll have it there. And do you remember the coat I was wearing? I was wearing an antelope skin coat.
That's right. Yeah,
you know,
that's the brown one.
Yeah, a bit of a flash kid, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And I had an antelope skin coat, and we went at it. And I think we must have fought for a minute and a half, which is a long time to fight, innit? You had no shirt on by that. Your shirt ripped off. My coat got ripped to pieces.
Yeah.
Which was rather upsetting.
That.
And then after that, that's when we started becoming a little bit more friendly with each other, didn't we?
Of course.
We had years of...
Yeah, well, it all started from here, because I think at the end you weren't going to take a backward step, and now was I.
No, hang on. I didn't have no choice. It was on top of giving me a kick. I didn't win that at all.
I just didn't back down. I feel that I knew Andy wouldn't have backed down.
Nigel's closest friend during his teenage years was Colin Chambers.
Yeah, that's too bad. Long time no see, man.
In Colin, he found someone who shared some of his passion.
I actually just found somebody who was like me. Frankly, do you remember Steve Banton all that? Could take care of himself, can take no crap, but nice man. We had a lot in common. We've done so much together, me and Colin. I used to kind of live at his house.
No, the house used to back onto this.
Yeah.
So the house was definitely in this.
That's right.
In this spot here is where the house was.
Yeah. You remember that martial art picture?
I know what you're going to say.
Come on. And them took a picture. It's like I'm jumping through the air.
Pictures, you know, we'd be there until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, the old Chinese kung fu
Come
films.
out and practice.
And I used to...
We used to practice, didn't we?
We used to
Oh,
have to...
mate.